The Horn of Africa is one of 22 African countries where U.S. Special Forces have been active as of 2019. Now, they account for 14% of the total global deployment and have conducted hundreds of missions, often in conjunction with local forces around Africa. Washington recently deployed hundreds of U.S. troops to Somalia 1 year after the Trump-led administration withdrew troops from the Horn of Africa. News Central's Omoniyi examines the involvement of the U.S. in Somalia amidst starvation and insecurity in the country.
The graphic images of U.S. forces dragged through the streets of Mogadishu, the loss of at least 200 civilians, 157 peacekeepers, hundreds of Somali fighters, and U.S. forces immortalized by Hollywood in the movie Black Hawk Down led to the end of the U.S. military mission to fight Al-Qaeda-linked militant group in Somalia in 1995. The military support was reintroduced as part of the ongoing global war on terror that began in the wake of the September 11th attacks but was again withdrawn on January 17, 2021.
Al-Shabaab remains a threat.
1 year later, U.S. military carries out its first airstrike in the country after the Biden administration announced in mid-May that about 500 U.S. Special Ops personnel would be based inside Somalia.
They have been building the capacity, they have been mentoring the Somali National Army, they have been training and equipping them. So it's an opportunity for us to have those forces in the ground right now.
At a time when protest is ongoing in some African countries against the involvement of external forces, notably the anti-MONUSCO protest in DR Congo, is it in Somalia's best long-term interest for U.S. troops to be stationed in the country?
I don't think the insurgency in Somalia, Al-Shabaab, needs any fueling by anybody. I think it's one of the tools to fight the insurgents in Somalia. It's not the only tool. The United States trained certain Somali troops called DANA, and we want them to train additional troops, and they do play a critical role in stabilizing Somalia. Any friendly country, especially the United States, to come and help with our struggle with insurgents that are not really specific to Somalia, they're all in many countries in the world, is most welcome.
While the U.S. focus on Somalia is fighting insecurity, international organizations warn against severe drought.
The situation is extremely dire and grim. 7.1 million people are going to be affected by this drought situation before the end of this year.
With the threat of starvation worsening in Somalia and neighboring Ethiopia and Kenya, many would argue that the U.S. should better address the situation by providing Somalia with economic and humanitarian assistance instead of military support. Though the Somali military has recorded successes as it captures Al-Shabaab stronghold, analysts propose reconciliation as the grievances stem from the rivalries among different clans. Niyi, Omoniyi, reporting for News Central.